Have you ever woken up from a dream so vivid it took you a few minutes to remember where you actually were? It makes you wonder, how can you be absolutely certain you aren't dreaming right now? Or, taking it a step further, how do you know you aren't plugged into a massive virtual reality simulation? It sounds like science fiction, but our brains are incredibly easy to trick. We fall for optical illusions all the time. We swear we hear sounds that aren't there. Our physical senses misreport the facts to us on a regular basis. That brings up a huge philosophical problem. If our eyes and ears lie to us sometimes, how do we know they aren't lying to us all the time? All our information about the world comes through these physical senses. If that data feed is corrupted, our entire reality is corrupted right along with it. Trusting our default perception of the world suddenly seems pretty dangerous. A philosopher named René Descartes noticed this exact problem 400 years ago. He decided on a mission. He was going to delete every single belief he had ever held and start over from scratch to see if he could find just one truth that was absolutely undeniable. His approach was called radical doubt. The rule was simple. If he could find even a tiny reason to doubt a concept, he would treat it as completely false. If it wasn't 100% certain, it went in the trash. To push his mind to the absolute limit, he imagined a supremely powerful, highly intelligent, and entirely evil demon. Think of it like a malicious computer hacker whose entire goal is to feed Descartes a fake reality, manipulating everything he sees, hears, and touches. If an entity like that exists, hacking our senses, then we have zero proof that the physical universe is real. We can't even prove that our own physical bodies actually exist. Jika langit, bumi, dan bahkan tubuh kita sendiri hanyalah ilusi palsu dari seorang peretas jahat, apakah itu berarti diri kita sendiri sebenarnya tidak ada? Descartes berada di titik keraguan yang paling dalam. Tetapi kemudian, dia menyadari sebuah celah besar dalam logika sang peretas jahat. Untuk bisa ditipu oleh sebuah ilusi, korbannya mutlak harus memiliki kesadaran terlebih dahulu. Sesuatu yang tidak ada, tidak mungkin bisa ditipu. Fakta bahwa ia sedang meragukan keberadaan dirinya justru menjadi bukti nyata. Harus ada sebuah pikiran yang sedang bekerja untuk bisa melakukan keraguan tersebut. Dari situlah, ia merumuskan kesimpulannya yang sangat terkenal. Aku berpikir, maka aku ada. Kesadaran murni kita, kemampuan kita untuk berpikir dan ragu, adalah satu-satunya fakta di alam semesta ini yang mustahil untuk dipalsukan. Jadi, kita tahu pasti bahwa kita ada. Namun, menurut pemikiran ini, wujud nyata kita bukanlah tubuh fisik yang bisa kita sentuh, melainkan semata-mata sebuah akal budi atau pikiran. Untuk membuktikan mengapa akal pikiran ini jauh lebih bisa diandalkan daripada mata atau kulit kita, Descartes mengajak kita melakukan sebuah eksperimen sederhana menggunakan lilin lebah. Bayangkan sebongkah lilin yang baru saja diambil dari sarang lebah. Wangi madunya masih sangat tajam, warnanya kuning cerah, teksturnya keras, bentuknya jelas, dan jika Anda mengetuknya, lilin itu akan mengeluarkan suara. Tapi lihat apa yang terjadi ketika lilin itu didekatkan ke api. Bentuk aslinya hancur, wangi madunya menguap habis, permukaannya berubah panas, dan kini mencair. Disinilah letak paradoksnya. Mata dan kulit kita mengatakan benda ini 100% berbeda dari sebelumnya. Tidak ada satupun ciri fisik awal yang tersisa. Namun, kita tetap tahu pasti bahwa ini adalah lilin yang sama. Bagaimana kita tahu? Bukan indera praba atau penglihatan yang memberitahu kita kebenaran wujud lilin tersebut. Kita memahaminya lewat logika di dalam otak kita. Ini membuktikan bahwa akal kitalah satu-satunya alat penangkap realitas yang sejati. Descartes now had his bedrock foundation, a clear, rational mind that was definitely real, even if everything else was a glitch in the matrix. But he didn't stop at his own mind. He looked at his thoughts and realized that, while he was flawed and full of doubt, he possessed a clear idea of what a perfect being would look like. He reasoned that he couldn't have invented this idea himself. An imperfect human can't create the concept of absolute perfection out of thin air. It was like finding the mark of the workman on a piece of pottery. The idea was so great, it must have been implanted by an actual perfect creator. This led him to his final deduction. A truly perfect creator would, by definition, be good. And a good creator wouldn't trap a conscious mind in a permanent deceptive simulation. Because he could trust that his creator wasn't a hacker trying to trick him, he could finally trust that the physical world outside his mind was real. This logical rescue mission saved early modern science. It gave researchers the confidence to study the universe, provided they relied on the steady logic of mathematics rather than their easily fooled physical senses. Descartes' 17th century nightmare has become a 21st century reality. We've entered the era of deepfakes and AI media that can flawlessly replicate the world around us. When the modern world starts to feel entirely fake or confusing, we have to remember that we can't always blindly trust what we see on a screen or hear in an audio clip. But no matter how advanced the illusions become, nobody can hack your capacity to think and use logic. Your critical intellect remains your single, unbreakable anchor to reality.